of all, thank you so much for doing this. It's very exciting.
Oh, thank you. It's exciting for me.
Yeah, you must be thrilled about having new material coming out.
Absolutely. We're always kind of writing. I guess most songwriters or writers or poets or painters. I guess everyone's always kind of working. You yourself, being a writer, I'm sure you feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But to kind of make the decision to put things out there in the world is, for our generation anyway, it's kind of a big deal. I hadn't felt like putting out a dedicated studio album in over a decade.
Yeah.
Just kind of because we don't really have to. On one hand, the digital age and streaming, it's very freeing. It's very limitless. We're no longer bound by deadlines. So we don't really have to. We're not really required to keep putting out new material if we don't want to. So it was a very deliberate decision, and I'm very happy that we waited because now it does seem like a wonderful time to put new music out.
Yeah, so it was a matter of timing and where the inspiration came from. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the first single we put out for this album was actually Jim, which is the first song on the album Champion. And Jim came out on Valentine's Day of 2020, which was really when it started. But of course, as the pandemic started to unfold, it became clearer and clearer that the world certainly didn't need a Bif Naked record. As things kind of unfolded and all the uncertainty got underway, it just really thwarted any idea to put out a new record. Mm-hmm. Definitely during 2020. And as 2021 kind of took hold, it became clear again that it just wasn't the time. So we waited, and here we are 4 years later.
Yeah.
And it's a very different record than it would have been 4 years ago.
You never loved me, Jim. You made a fool of me again and again. You never told the truth when I believed in you again and again.
I've been very lucky as an artist because since the beginning I've kind of been I've had the freedom to put very eclectic records out in the world. And of course, Spaceman had a dance remix that became a global hit and became a very requested song, as well as the Lucky Dance remix. So for me, it's kind of never been a stretch. And so to now kind of venture into deliberately putting them on the record at the same time really is a great segue for us, because I will be putting out an EDM record by the end of the year. So it's just fun. And I think that comes with not only my age, kind of feeling a little less inhibited than I was as a younger artist. Nice. I think now I kind of feel like there's no holds barred in many ways, but it's also, I think with the streaming and digital age, artists can really do many things at once and not feel like they're kind of restricted by a label, holding them back or anything. So it's a lot of fun to be able to put everything out at the same time.
Yeah. And from what I'm seeing, this is coming from a very personal place for you.
Yeah, I think that's always kind of the way it's always gone for me, just as an kind of an autobiographical lyricist. But I'm sure it's the same way for many artists who write from a place of pain more than anything else. A lot of my songs have always been songs about heartbreak or longing or loss or hope. And, now is definitely no different. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, you said hope there. Is that why you named the album Champion?
Oh, absolutely. I think that now more than ever, hope is what we need in this world.
Amen.
But with Champion, I think that we're all surviving some type of, I guess, triumph or victory over kind of a dark era. Not just with the pandemic, but with all of the global unrest that's been happening over the last 20 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just maddening. The dumpster fire that is the world,
Right.
It's maddening, and we feel pretty helpless a lot of the time being here in North America, not just with what's going on in our own backyard, but globally. We have to keep fighting, not only for ourselves, but for everybody else.
Yeah.
You never loved me, Jim. You made a fool of me again and again.
Yeah. Now your story is, I hesitate to say heartbreaking. It's been awful since day one, but you've gone past that, like way past that, to a happy life, I think.
You know what? I have always felt like a really lucky kid. As an adopted kid, first and foremost, they always say adopted kids go from one mommy's tummy to another mommy's heart.
Aww.
And I'm very lucky that I know my birth mom. My birth mom, who's only 15 years older than me, lives in Wasaga Beach.
Wow.
And so even though I was born in India, because she was over there at the time, and I was born and given to Americans, by luck, I wound up back in Canada, and here I am living in Toronto after all these years.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my birth mom is in Wasaga Beach. So she and I have a wonderful, close relationship. And I have a sister that's in Barrie and a brother. And of course, my two other sisters live in Winnipeg. And so I have the best of both worlds.
That you
And,
do.
a career in singing and dancing. And I just feel like the luckiest kid in the world
Yeah.
to have been able to have all of these, rich experiences in my lifetime, and to be able to know and love my birth mom. I feel like I got two mommies,
Yeah.
and it's really like, how can I be that lucky? I don't know. I pinch myself every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about the upcoming documentary.
That's such a weird and wonderful circumstance. Initially, when we were approached, it wasn't at all about a documentary. They wanted to make a feature film about my life, and it was primarily about the book that I had written called Bif Naked, which was out in 2016. And I stopped writing that book in 2013, so it's over 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an autobiography or a memoir. And somebody wanted to make a feature film about it. And so we were in talks about that. And then my manager, Peter, kept getting approached by a few documentary filmmakers. And he was bemoaning this to the feature film company, and they said, well, our main job is to make documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, it is? And they said, yeah, so why aren't we also doing the documentary along with your feature? And he goes, oh, I never thought about it. And they said, yeah, we'll just do the documentary as well. And so that's kind of how it happened. It was a bit of an accident. And they wound up enlisting the very legendary Jennifer Abbott to be the director. Most people know Jennifer from The Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jennifer signed on as the director, which terrified me. Absolutely. Jennifer is a fierce feminist, and I just didn't even know what on earth she wanted to do with my story, of course. She was amazing. She was just amazing. Her her lens with which she sees the world is so magnificent and so serious and so special and so unique. I just felt like I was in the best possible hands. So I haven't seen any edits on the documentary. They're still in editing. I think that they were initially thinking that it would be ready for TIFF 24. It is not. So they're thinking maybe Sundance of 2025 or South by Southwest, perhaps. So look forward in the spring.
That's exciting. Sundance.
Yeah, it's very exciting and terrifying at the same time. Because it's a little bit odd. I mean, you know, on one hand, I've been a performing artist professionally since I was 18, so I don't really know any other life. This has always been my job. So it's, you know, kind of being weirdly self-conscious is not foreign to me. So it's kind of, you know, it's not, you know, strange, but it's kind of, there's this weird, I don't know what it is. It's just, it's kind of, it's a weird self-consciousness when it comes to envisioning that I would have to sit in a theater with a bunch of people and watch this. It's weird to imagine because it just feels strange, like embarrassing. I would feel self-conscious. I don't know what to think. I don't want to sit there. You know, it's all those embarrassing things. Are you going to giggle? Are my friends going to be there? Feels like you're at a high school assembly. So, you know, to envision it now is like, you know, I get the giggles.
Sure. I can imagine anybody would feel a little bit weird about that.
Yeah, but it's really exciting. It's very humbling.
Now, speaking of things that are coming up, some tour dates.
First week of September 7th, I think Casino Rama, near Aurelia, Rama First Nation. We will be there with Everclear and Sister Hazel. So we're very excited about that as well. And after that, you're going to have to come to the West Coast and see us play.
Excellent. I'll be sure to post the information on the article, because I got to tell whoever's listening to this, I've seen you in concert and you are badass.
Thank you. Very kind.
And thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate it. It's always so lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much. You as well.